Alright, here we are. We're recording already.
Oh, hey. Is this official?
This
is official recording?
Yeah, you just got here. That was fast. Yeah, so this is a special Doctor Strange review episode. So we're not doing a real episode, we're just going to do a review, and then next week we'll be back to our normal episodes.
That's correct.
Yeah. So welcome to our Doctor Strange review episode. You should go to Twitter. What's Twitter do, dude?
Twitter, you can follow us at BreakroomBS1.
You did it!
Yeah.
You did
I
it!
remembered.
Yay!
I remembered.
What's the, that's the number one. What do you, what's the SoundCloud do?
SoundCloud, you can listen to us on SoundCloud. Or you can listen to us through Twitter, but SoundCloud might be easier to find us. I don't know. Whatever is easier for you, but our SoundCloud page is, Breakroom BS?
Yep, and then you can just search for Breakroom Bullshit and stream or download it. But the page is Breakroom BS. What if I was just like this? I was like, hey guys.
We just hold it?
Does that work?
I don't know.
This looks scary. I don't want to do this.
We didn't test it.
No.
You could be making a whole bunch of noises by tapping this thing here.
Oh, I mean, now you're tapping it. Let's put it back now.
Alright.
Put it right back there.
We practice nothing but professional actions here on this show.
Yeah, you also talk low because you're a bitch.
Yes.
So we're going to do some Doctor Strange. Let's talk about some Doctor Strange.
I'm ready.
This is a Marvel movie, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Are you sure?
It's sounding very contrived right now, Dave.
What do you mean?
I don't know, it's just something sounds weird.
I didn't write that down.
Something sounds weird.
It's probably because you don't have notes and you don't feel prepared.
I don't care. I'm ready. I know. I watched the movie last night. I'm ready.
Sure you are.
We're recording first thing Friday morning here.
You're probably going to have like 8 notes in your head. I don't actually have a whole... I got a page and a half, I guess.
I mean, that's a lot.
Not really.
It looks like you read a book over there.
No, that's not true. Alright, here's the synopsis for Doctor Strange. I'm sure no one knows what it's about. Dr. Stephen Strange's life changes after a car accident robs him of the use of his hands. When traditional medicine fails him, he looks for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave. I don't know what an enclave is. Enclave.
I think it's an enclave.
What is it?
You know, it's like a religious something.
So you
like
can,
a little gathering, I think.
You can pronounce it, but you don't know what it is.
Not exactly.
I can do neither.
I'm impressed.
He quickly learns that the Enclave is at the front line of a battle against unseen dark forces bent on destroying reality. Before long, Strange is forced to choose between his life of fortune and status, or leave it all behind to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. I guess eventually, once she dies.
Who dies?
The Ancient One.
Oh, yeah.
Because before that, he's not really the most powerful one at all.
She was.
Yeah. Alright.
What did you think about this movie? Do you like it? Did you not like it? Let's get some opening thoughts here.
I thought it was alright. I had a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, there were a few people who I encountered after the movie, and they're like, "Oh, what'd you think of it?" I'm like, "It was good."
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to answer. Like, I didn't hate it, but like at the same time, it didn't really blow my dick off like I was anticipating.
Almost all.
Oh
these
my
notes,
god! I just stole that line from a podcast.
You're a jerk. No one's gonna listen to that.
No.
Dude, almost all of these notes are my complaints.
Really?
Yeah. There's a couple good things, but
I was really impressed with some of the astral plane stuff, and like whenever like she punched him out of his body and he went flying through the fucking
hospital
air and
oh yeah,
it was like a montage of like just crazy different dimensions going on, and that was visually I think it was very well done.
Yeah, but I have some notes on that. But was this the first time we saw that Marvel logo where they showed the people?
Yeah, I think that was a new Marvel logo.
That's because they just made a new one.
Really?
Like 2 movies ago for Civil War. Remember?
Yeah.
So that was a pretty cool logo.
I like that. It's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I definitely liked it too.
Besides the classic flippy page one, but I like that just because it reminds me of the older ones.
Yeah. I'm looking into your eyes.
I
found my soul. As I was saying, I definitely have some issues. The thing is, I hold the Marvel films to a higher standard because they're all so great.
I could say the same thing.
Except for Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
But
Ant-Man was...
Okay, so one of the first things I was noticing as the movie was opening... What's the guy's name? Caecilius?
Dude, I don't know what the names. That's probably one of my complaints during the movie. The names are just so hard. Like, I wish they would have popped the names on the screen so I'd be like, oh, That's how you pronounce
Like they freeze frame and it's like Caecilius and he's posing.
Like I want a freeze frame. I want a freeze frame, and then I want Ferris Bueller to come on the screen and then explain to me what the name is.
Yeah.
Just pronounce it slowly.
So I was thinking whenever he was like breaking into the library that he's dumb. It's like, why didn't he just take the whole book? I mean, clearly it was a cool-looking book with some little, like, nice, like, weird-looking face on the front. He just rips out 2 pages and leaves it.
Well,
there was obviously a lot of stuff in there that Doctor Strange used, too, that he probably could have used.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he just take the whole thing?
Why'd he break in the... I thought he just went into the Sanctorum thing to blow it up. I didn't think he broke in to steal anything.
No, at the very beginning, he broke in to steal the 2 pages so he could summon, or he could fucking get power from the dark side.
Oh.
Remember? Like, he just ripped the 2 pages out and it had the symbol on it that was on their foreheads.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't really even think about that, but yeah.
It was the whole fucking point of the movie, was that he stole the pages.
I know, I just didn't think about, like, why didn't he steal the whole book?
Oh, I thought you were like, well, you didn't think about why he stole the pages.
Yeah, no, I understood that.
That was just silly. It's like, this is like, there's so much stuff in there.
Was that head chopping off part of the ritual then?
I think he was just a
At
dick.
the beginning?
No, there was no ritual. He was just being a dick. Because he's not a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a long little rant to go on here. In the first scene, the first fight scene with the Ancient One and Catholicism.
Cthulhu?
Yeah. I immediately had concern that all the manipulation of the city... It was just going to be unnecessary and just being there for eye candy and serve no purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is my first issue because it basically was.
Well, that's how they fought, though.
Why? What does it do?
I don't know. Why fight anyway? It disorientates
because when you fight someone...
It disorientates your opponent.
Okay, or you could just have a building fall on his head and kill him. Instead of having a bunch of fucking stupid moving shit that's serving no purpose in the background just looks cool. All the stuff they did in the city was completely unnecessary. It didn't do anything. Like, what good does it do to have a fucking, like, a bunch of things shifting and turning in circles and moving? Like, it was pointless.
I told you the disorientation of your opponent, and then, I don't know, gets them off their feet.
Gets them off their feet. Or they could just kill them with it.
I mean, if you're turning, if I'm turning the room upside down and fighting you at the same time while staying level, I think that's pretty disorienting for you.
Yeah, or you could just have a door, crush them, and kill them.
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it didn't like affect them on that. What was the mirror surface or whatever, mirror plane?
What do you mean it didn't affect them?
Couldn't they not like die or something?
No, the only thing the mirror thing did was make it so the outside world wasn't affected by what they did.
Yeah, this was all very confusing to me.
There were a lot of parts where I was like, "What are they doing and what's happening?"
It definitely went like underexplained.
Like, okay, like the only reason to do it, like that whole fucking scene later in the movie where the entire city is changing, and none of it wasn't well explained. It's like I was like, well, does the mirror universe follow them when they make this little glass area? Does it get bigger? Does what does it contain? Because like they make this little mirror universe and they go over the entire New York City. I'm like, what's like, so like, is this not like? I don't understand. They didn't
it's something only they see, I feel, and not like normal people.
No one else sees it because it's not affecting the real world. But right. I'm like, how big is this glass area they made? Is it infinite?
It covers all of it covers everything
wherever they go to.
It's not like a bubble. It's a different like plane. It seemed like
so the mirror universe. It is the same universe exactly that they're in, except they're just in a mirrors thing and nothing is affected.
It's an unaffected
like that. I didn't think that was well explained, but like, if the things okay, so you're saying it disorients them, okay? Like, that's a little silly. Like, why don't you make a trap door that's gonna like the part where Doctor Strange falls into a hole and the thing conveniently opens to let him fall through the hole and conveniently close? Why don't you just let it close when he's halfway through and cut him in half? Like all the stuff they're doing with this moving city was just stuff to look cool. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just really silly. I'm like, it really served no purpose. Like, I don't know. It just annoyed me. I'm like, there's like little fucking walls above their head where they're not even looking, moving around. The ceiling's doing stuff. The wall's doing stuff. I'm like, this isn't doing anything. Like, it just was really a bunch of like just unnecessary stuff that wasn't helping the guy doing it in the fight. Like, I can understand if it was, like, physically moving them. Like, some of the things were. Like, when there were times when it made sense. Like, when he made the one floor so he was, like, kept running and he couldn't get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that I understand it makes sense. But when you're in the entire city, and the entire city is just moving, and you're right here, all this stuff that's going on doesn't do anything. Like, it's just completely pointless, just visual eye candy.
I mean, I appreciated the visual eye candy.
I mean, I would appreciate it if it served the purpose, and it's not just a fucking Michael Bay film to look cool.
I think this is...
Because that's all the Michael Bay films are, is just looking cool.
Yeah, explosions and stuff.
That's all it is just to look cool.
I think this is one of the scenarios where you're just overthinking it.
I mean, I don't think I'm overthinking it. I just think it was unnecessary.
I think you're overthinking it.
I don't think so. I'm
overthinking
overthinking it. I think that they wanted to make the movie look cool.
Yeah,
but they could have made it serve a purpose. They could have put in some line somewhere where they're like...
What purpose could it have served?
I'm saying they could have put in some line somewhere and put, like... Let's say what they can do is limited because the people are using the magic for good, so if they use the environment to actually kill them, they can't do that. They could say something. They could fucking write it so it's better written. They can throw in a line that explains why they're not actually making a building fall on someone and kill them. It's just lazy writing. That's all it is. Like, you could easily take one line in that movie and explain why, instead of making a fucking thing that moves in a circle behind them, or they're just destroying them, why they're not actually killing them with the environment. Mm-hmm. They could explain it. They just didn't.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
I see your point.
It takes one line of writing to put in there that there's a reason for that. That's all it takes. But it seems like they just wanted to make a movie about magic, so they're like, well, we're just going to make a movie about magic, so it doesn't matter if things don't make sense.
Spin a whole bunch of things around. I mean, overall, the movie just seemed very, like, I don't know, like, I had these expectations, and to me, like, throughout the movie, I just felt, I don't want to say bored, but, like, everything just kind of seemed, I guess, bland.
I guess. I don't know, like... It really seemed to me like, as I'm watching this movie, like, they just didn't, like, try really hard to make the movie make sense.
Was this your note about the trippy shit that I was talking about earlier that you said you had notes about?
That I thought was also dumb. I'm like, okay, so there's this whole sequence where he's, like, flying through space and time, and all this just nonsensical shit. Like, where is he? He's in different universes. He's just floating through space. And then he's in a universe where he's all hands. Like, why is there a universe where you're just all hands?
The all hands thing was really weird.
I thought the whole sequence was dumb, and it was another thing just to have a sequence that looks cool and visually stunning. They did the same thing in 2001 Space Odyssey, where he's going through, like, a wormhole, and there's just all this cool visual stuff. I'm like, this is dumb. What's the point? I don't care.
I liked it. I liked all that stuff.
See,
I thought it was cool.
You're very...
I'm very visually entertained. I'm easily visually entertained.
Yeah. Yeah, I like for it to actually, like, have something to do with the movie. And
although I thought the Transformers movies, like, visually weren't that, like... I mean, yeah, there was a bunch of explosions and shit happening, but, like, as far as how the Transformers and everything were designed and that, I got bored by looking at them.
Those movies were dumb.
They looked very... I don't know. They looked too science-y. I wanted it to be less science-y looking.
Well, every single Michael Bay movie could benefit from being better written, so... That's every one of them. Yeah, that, I don't know. I thought that sequence, like, where he was going through this universes was like, I was like, as I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Like, he's floating through space, so apparently Doctor Strange doesn't need to breathe right now. I'm like, but at the beginning, he wasn't even in his body, so I guess he didn't have to. I was like, this is just all dumb. Like, I don't know. I thought that whole sequence was stupid. And
you sound very angry right now.
I get bad whenever, like, the one thing I will not forget in a movie is bad writing. I won't. It doesn't take any money to write a good movie. None. It takes zero money.
Just talent.
I can forgive. I can forgive bad effects, because if you have a low budget, your effects are bad, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I can't forgive bad acting or bad writing, because there's also plenty of actors out there that will work for absolutely nothing. Like, bad writing and bad acting just piss me off because there's no excuse for it. There really isn't.
How do you think, speaking of acting, how do you think Benedict
Cumberbatch did
as Doctor Strange?
I had no issue with any
I said he was phenomenal as the character.
Yeah, I had no issues with any acting in the movie at all.
I definitely feel like he's a character who, not Benedict Cumberbatch, but Doctor Strange himself, is a character who serves better as, like, a supporting character rather than having a whole movie about him.
Like Ant-Man?
Yeah. And I really liked how he was portrayed too. So that was, I mean, Ant-Man I hated, so that's probably why I said that. But Doctor Strange I liked, and I just felt like I don't know, I was getting too much of him. I like to see the interaction between him and other people whenever I'm reading comics, not him. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Cool.
It's his reaction, his interactions with the other heroes that makes me like him.
Yeah. I like the War Machine reference. That was cool.
War Machine's cool.
When he was in the car. Do you remember?
No.
Okay. They were sitting in the car, and the guy was talking to some doctor about different patients. He was like, "Where's this other guy? Something about being in a suit and got his spine crushed and he can't walk." And he's like, "I don't care about that." You didn't catch that reference when he's in the car driving? Yeah.
I kept being like, "Oh my god, he's such an asshole. Why is he going 100 miles an hour on a bendy mountainside?"
I did like the opening scene in the beginning where they were operating. I thought that scene was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was. I got real excited when they pulled the bullet out. I was like, "Yeah, you got it. Good for him. Good for him."
Yeah, I was sitting there and I was kind of tense. I was like, "Is he gonna die?"
I was hoping that's how the whole movie was. I'd be tense the whole movie. I was just like, "Oh, that looks cool."
The car wreck.
All looks cool.
The car wreck scene was pretty badass.
Yeah,
where it actually wrecked.
Dude, I know he was going fast, but damn, he took a million flips.
Yeah.
That flip scene, the car flipping, I felt like went on forever.
When you're going that fast, that happens.
Did they say was there like a screenshot of the speedometer at any point to see how fast he was actually going, or no? I want to know how fast he was going.
I didn't research this. I didn't look for the. I didn't look for how fast he was going. I didn't research that.
For the visual effects, whenever they were doing the fights, and he conjured a weapon, that weapon he did with his hands, the nunchuck-looking thing. Was it me, or did it spark way too much for you to see what was going on?
To see what was going on?
Dude, like, whenever it sparked, I felt like it just took up the whole screen. I'm like, I don't know what's happening now.
That's probably part of my next note, which is...
it's the equivalent of a Michael Bay.
Some of the fight scenes were annoying when I couldn't see what was happening in a lot of the shots.
Yeah.
It could have been... I think it was a combination of that. I think it was a combination of the shots were too close up. Like, when I'm looking at, your arm in your head and there's also sparks, I can't see if it's in the middle of an action scene. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I thought, it wasn't all of them and it wasn't absolutely horrible to the point where that made me hate the movie.
No, that didn't make me hate the movie at all. I was just annoyed.
There were definitely parts I'm annoyed. I'm like, I wish I could see what was happening right now.
Yeah.
There was definitely parts like that. I definitely... I thought the scene where he was stealing the books in the library was hilarious.
Yeah. I did think it was funny. I thought I was worried that you'd have an issue with too much humor for the character.
No, I didn't think there was too much humor at all.
Yeah, I felt like they nailed it.
Yeah, it was another Marvel one where they had the right amount of humor, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's listening to, Beyonce? And he's just, reaching behind him.
Oh my god, when he was listening to Single Ladies, I died.
Yeah.
I was the only... Dude, there were 5 people in the theater I was in.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went to the 7:30 show. I went to the Phoenix Big Cinemas.
Oh.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like a real place.
It's real.
I guess.
Yeah, there were 5 people in the 7:30 show.
Here's more bitching coming up. Now, I tried to say some nice things, so I'm going to go back to my bitching.
Can I do some bitching before you do bitching?
Yes.
Because you've been doing a lot of bitching.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get really annoyed. I don't get that annoyed, but I get really annoyed whenever people are being stupid in the theater. And the guy who was sitting next to me was vaping. Like, he only tried it once, but one of the most quiet parts of the movie, I just hear, like... And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is Darth Vader sitting next to me? And
was it Darth Vader?
No, dude was fucking annoying. Have you ever been in a theater where someone was vaping before?
No.
Dude, it's really annoying. Like, the smoke wouldn't have bothered me because the guy was to my right, but, like, the sound of it sounded like fucking Vader taking, like, the deepest inhale ever.
Well, I haven't really gone to the movies with people since vaping became popular.
Okay.
Like, for a couple... That's been popular for, like, a couple years now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I stopped going with
Okay.
people since then, which is probably why. Otherwise, I probably would have encountered that and
it's
get really mad.
Really annoying.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Don't vape in the theater.
Sounds like...
But no, dude, he saw me stare him down, and he didn't try it the entire movie.
Do you think you were going to kill him?
He probably thought I'd just go
Were
get
you
something.
doing the Seinfeld route where you're like, I gave him a stare and I gave him the half turn. If I go any further, I'm risking
Dude,
getting
I
punched
gave
in
him
the
the
face.
half turn.
You remember that in Seinfeld?
No.
Yeah, he was talking to the girl and they were talking about how annoying he was, and she's like, I wish you would have shut up. And he's like, well, there's only so much I can do. I gave him the half turn. Any more than that, I'm risking a punch in the face. Seinfeld's funny.
Now, is a half turn like is that at a 45-degree angle, or is that a full... Wait, no. Is that...
360 is where you're back to where you started. So 180 would be completely backwards, so I'd say it'd be 90.
It'd be a 90-degree
That's
turn.
a 90.
This is a 90.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's a half turn then? A half turn's a 90?
A 90, yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess you look back when you're doing the half turn.
I wasn't sure if this was a full turn, turning to look at them. So like a half turn would have been like a slight turn.
But he was next to you, right?
He was in the same row as me, far to my right.
That changes everything. This is all based on the person being behind you.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
I gave him a full turn then.
Oh, fuck. What does Kramer say? Did I send Jackie a picture of that? She thought it was an actual painting.
It
And
looks nice. It
And I
looks
told
so
her
nice.
I told her it cost $799.
I like how it's a frame inside of a frame.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
I love
sense.
it.
Okay, so here comes more bitching. And in regards to your very hurtful overthinking comment, which really hurt me and emotionally scarred me,
Yeah, we all know
let me
you
say
overthink.
this. No, let me say this. If I'm sitting there watching a movie and something doesn't make sense to me, that's going to take me out of the movie.
It's gonna bother you the whole movie.
Well, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that's going to affect my enjoyment of the movie.
But what I'm saying is,
I can't just sit there when something doesn't make sense and just be like, I don't care.
I've noticed since we started the podcast, I've gotten more critical of movies that I like while I'm watching them, and it kind of makes me enjoy them less. So, are you you're also probably watching it as someone who's reviewing a movie?
I've
so
always
you're more
done that.
critical.
I've always
I've
done
never
that.
been like that, and I still try not to be like that. But like occasionally something will pop up, and I'll watch the rest of the movie and just start like nitpicking.
Well, I've always been a stickler for writing. I've always been like that.
Okay.
Like, anytime I've watched a movie, if there's something that happens and it doesn't make sense, it bothers me. I'm like, well, that needs to be explained.
Well, this is why our podcast is good. You have the perspective
'Cause I'm better.
of a... Well, you have the perspective of someone
who's better.
Yes. And I have the perspective of a average moviegoer, I guess.
So I have the perspective of someone who's really critically reviewing the movie. You have the perspective of someone who's just not trying that hard and trying to do less work.
No, I'm just trying to
That was
enjoy
funny.
the movie. I understand what you're
That was
saying,
funny.
but I'm just trying to enjoy what I'm seeing.
I was going to say something else and I forgot what the hell it was. It was about getting mad about Oh yeah, this is a real thing that happens to me. I'm like, this is a real thing.
I'm listening.
When I'm watching a movie and it's like there's things that don't make sense in the movie, I can kind of tell in a movie when something is just like a plot hole and they're not going to try and explain it, which is very much a lot of Doctor Strange, or if it's something in a movie where like, okay, that might get explained later, but then sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I definitely didn't feel at any point they'd explain it later for stuff.
But
I'm listening.
when I'm watching a movie, in my head, I think of these things where I'm like, I hope they explain that later. Throughout the whole movie. I have a list in my head of things where I'm like, I hope that gets explained. Like, to the point where at the end, I'm like, okay, cool, they explained that. Cool, they explained that. I actually do that. I sit there and I have a list in my head of things that didn't make sense, and I'm like, I hope this gets explained. And by the time I get to the end of the movie, like Sherlock Holmes. Did you watch the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies?
I haven't. I want to, though.
Those are movies where there was a lot of stuff where I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That better get explained. I had like a ton of things in my head that I wanted to get explained. And by the time the end of the movie got there, they explained literally everything I had in the list in my head. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. And I got really happy.
And that was for Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. What are you doing?
I'm kind of curious what the runtime for this was, because I was going to comment.
150,
I
an
felt
hour and 55 minutes.
Oh, good. I was going to say I felt like it was real short, but I guess it wasn't.
I mean, yeah.
I felt like they could have fit more things in there, like... I don't know.
What they could have done was they could have been in about 10 more lines of dialogue that would explain a whole bunch of shit and make it better. Just 10 lines. Is 10 lines too much to ask for?
Fair enough.
10 lines. That's not that much. It's like 30 seconds. It's like a minute. That's probably like a minute.
Depending on the lines. I'm going to say like 2.5 minutes.
Okay, so the whole thing with the sanctuaries being attacked, I wasn't even following it. I was like, did they go to New York yet? Was that one attacked? I was like, the London one was first?
Dude, I'm confused. I thought they were in the Hong Kong one originally, and that's what got attacked first.
I think the London one's the first one that gets attacked. I thought they were in the library.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Dude,
I got confused by that part.
Because another thing is that towards the end of the movie, they're going to go to Hong Kong. They're like...
Yeah, they were in the Hong Kong one later, but I was like, weren't they just around a whole bunch of Asian people? I'm really confused.
Well, the one thing, Mordor goes, we need to go to the Hong Kong one. The New York one's already been attacked twice. I'm like, alright, so does that one still good? But then I guess that one was done because...
No, he was there for the New York attack one. That was with Doctor Strange defending it.
So they went from
whenever
London...
they first showed up, and then whenever he came back again.
So they went
saw both of them.
So they went from London to New York.
Yeah, he was in New York. You saw the New York one. Both of the New York attacks.
Yeah, because Mordor goes, New York's already been attacked twice.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that, and then they're going to Hong Kong. I assume it's someone upstairs.
Okay.
It sounds like someone upstairs.
I thought it was a mouse.
So, like, but that whole thing, I was just like kind of getting lost. I'm like, what fucking sanctuary are they in? But my problem with the sanctuaries was like, so he goes to this isn't my problem with the sanctuary, but this is an issue I have. So when he goes to the London sanctuary and he gets attacked, why didn't he just use his ring to get away before he lost it? There was at no point where he even tried to use his sling ring to get
sanctuary?
Away. Yeah.
I
because
still don't know which one that was.
I know. It's the London sanctuary.
Was it the New York one
maybe it was the New York one.
The New York one where he had the cape and everything? He found the cape? That was the New York one. That's the one that he now is the...
Okay, the New York one then.
Yeah. Okay,
so he goes to the New York one. That's when he first runs into the guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, he just starts running away. I'm like, you can make a fucking portal, guy. Why don't you just make a portal and get away?
Yeah, whenever he said you lost your sling ring, I was like, I didn't even know he had his sling ring.
Yeah, maybe if it would have been written better, and there was a sequence of him going to be like, where's my ring? One fucking line where he says, where's my ring? We know that he lost it and doesn't have it. How hard is that?
I feel like I lost Jesus, and you're showing me Jesus again. You're showing me the light.
Yeah, I'm just like, because the whole time I'm like, why isn't he just using his ring to get away? I don't understand this.
Yeah. And
I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't get it. And then Larry's like, he lost it. I'm like, oh, that's good to know now. That I've wondered why he hasn't used it the whole time. But, so when the sanctuary, this is the thing I thought was really dumb. When the sanctuary is under attack, I don't know why I wrote attach. When the sanctuary is under attack and Strange is trying to run away but not teleport, why is no one else trying to stop this from happening? The Ancient One's not there. Mordor is not there. Not a single person defending the world. No one is there trying to stop the sanctuary from being attacked. Where the fuck's everyone at?
Yeah, they were on like a delay, and it was just
yeah.
Doctor Strange is the only one there, right?
It made no sense.
That was weird.
I was like, where is everyone? I'm sitting there like, why is no one helping this poor guy?
They showed up at like the last minute, right?
I think Mordor came at the very end by himself. I think the Ancient One was using a dildo or a vibrator or something, because I don't know where the fuck she was. She was just gone.
She was putting wax on her head.
She was too busy summoning the dark powers without
telling
anyone.
Did they even explain what was the deal with the scar on her head, or no?
No. It's a mystery.
She's just deformed in the head.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I don't know. I was just like, no one's helping. Poor Doctor Strange, who's never even fought really before. He can barely summon a fucking weapon. I don't know. I was like, this is dumb. No one's helping him. No one tried at all, but... Okay, so these gateways that they open, these portals, right?
Yeah, the spinning...
Yeah.
The
spinning Did they, will them to close or something? Like, the one at the hospital was open for like an hour, even after he was dead.
Yeah, I mean, I just assumed like they gave it permission to close. They kind of make it close, once it's open, and then they give it permission to close.
I guess what it is. I guess, okay.
Because that one was open for a while. I'm surprised nothing catches fire whenever they're around them.
Because people just start going through it and shit. I'm like, why didn't you just close it?
Oh, dude! Speaking of those, I'm gonna for a second talk about the end credit scene. I thought the end credit scene was gonna be them showing you how they made the things. Whenever you first start seeing the spinning thing, I thought that was just like behind the scenes look at them spinning like some sort of grinding thing. I'm like, this is dumb. If this is just a behind the scenes look, I'm gonna be pissed.
I didn't think that at all.
I don't know why I thought that. It's
I
probably...
think you're overthinking.
You know why? It's probably because I've seen like the Leica movies where they show you like behind the scenes shit after the credits.
Some of the Underworld movies?
Leica.
Like the Lycans?
Leica is like the Kubo and the Two Strings and Box Trolls. They show you like behind the scenes stuff in the post credits.
These movies are terrible. Let's talk about this other movie that's not so great instead.
Yeah. No, but yeah. The sparkly things were cool, I guess.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious. I was like, he's already dead. Why is this thing even still there? I guess you just... So, if he wouldn't have come back to life, would it never close ever?
Well, if he would have if he would have just died, I would assume that would just
He did
close.
die. He flatlined.
But he wasn't like dead, his conscious, he was on the astral plane, but like did his like consciousness really leave if he was able to come back to life? Like, why can't fucking what's her name come back to life? Because she's fully dead. She wasn't dead yet.
Maybe she's still floating around somewhere.
Half dead.
Maybe she went to like a McDonald's on the astral plane whenever she disappeared when she was next to him.
Yeah, only half dead, not fully dead.
I guess. So you think if he would have been quote unquote fully dead, that he would have just disappeared?
I made a reference to something that we're going to talk about on a future episode.
Oh, okay.
Did you catch that?
No. What'd you say?
Half dead.
Talking about
fully dead.
Is this Evil Dead?
No, Princess Bride. Remember he wasn't fully dead?
I have my notes on that.
I don't have those.
I don't have them done.
No.
I have them in my phone.
Okay. Makes me feel better.
Let's see, London. Okay.
I'm speaking low again. Look how low those are.
What?
Look, I need to like.
Yeah,
can I move this? I'm moving this close.
No one can hear you.
Closer to me.
Everyone's listening. They're like, "Well, I better turn the sound up while Gable talks."
I already told you we have to move it closer to me, so you can just talk normal, and then I talk at this pace, and it sounds normal now.
Yeah, but then you start talking low after like 3 seconds.
I mean, my mouth is right next to it.
Yeah, but you don't sustain your voice.
If I talk like this, I guess so.
Okay, this is another thing that like kind of annoyed me. Okay, so he gets the eye. Okay,
the eye of
Thor.
Argmato.
Yeah, and he can use it to control time, right?
Yes.
So why does he just always do that now? It's the most powerful thing ever.
It disrupts. Because Wong yelled at him. Wong and Bardo yelled at him.
Yeah, because he didn't know what he was doing. He was
because it disrupts nature. Remember they yell at him at the end, like, "Oh, well, I guess this is kind of what you have to do."
Clearly, he doesn't care and just will use it anyway.
Well, yeah,
so
because it was the only option at that point.
Avengers Infinity War, he better be using it the entire time he's fighting Thanos.
Unless Thanos has it.
You think he's going to take the eye from him?
I mean, how else is he going to fill the Infinity Gauntlet?
Maybe he can still keep the eye without the Infinity Stone in it.
I think that's
the Infinity Stone is inside the eye, dude. It's not the entire thing. It's what makes it glow green. He can still have the eye without any power.
You're being a douche. That's what you're doing.
I am. So yeah, all I'm saying is like he learns to control time. So like I feel like he should just always be doing it now. Anytime in the second movie, if he has that eye and something happens, you better turn back time to fix it. I don't think he's going to.
I don't know. I just feel like it was something that they weren't supposed to be doing and shouldn't be doing because Bordeaux kept talking about the how there's he'll have to pay his price for doing it.
Well, I even listened to Mordo. Apparently, he's a douchebag.
Mordo.
Did
I say Mordo?
It is Mordo.
I thought it was Bordeaux.
I don't think so. Pretty sure it's spelled with an M on IMDb, as it was said in the entire movie.
I didn't hear his name till later in the movie. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's not Wong. Why is Wong black?
Always have an excuse, huh?
And then Wong showed up.
So you should have just turned back time to save the Ancient One from dying.
Yeah.
Probably could have done that.
She'd be alive.
Yeah.
She was ready to die, though.
She seems pretty important.
It was her fate.
Yeah, but I don't think she wanted to, though.
She had to.
She didn't have to.
Nobody wants to die.
You could turn back time and just bring her back to life.
I guess people do want to die.
If you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What next, Dave? What next?
So these sanctuaries, how do they even work?
Yeah, they're just big satellites that put big yellow rings.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I guess they put some spell on the buildings or something. So they emit some sort of fucking bullshit shield. I'm like, whatever. Okay, I guess that's how they work. So how are they stopping them? Like, what do they do? They're just going in and busting the place up and breaking some artifacts that no longer work. Like, what are they doing?
They are disrupting the household.
So they go in, they break a vase, and the thing no longer works. I'm like, what do they even do? How are they stopping it? Like,
that wasn't explained. You're right.
Like, why isn't there
You're
something...
right, Dave. You're right.
Well, why don't they just go inside the building and they, like, have... Maybe there's some sort of, like, you know, like, the one had all these different artifacts in the fucking cape thing, right? Maybe there's some sort of weird thing that you see is what's emitting the power, okay?
Uh-huh.
And go in there and destroy it. So no longer the building emits any spell or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Instead of just being some random building that you don't even know how the fuck it works and how it's emitting this power, they go in and break a bunch of shit and leave and are like, oh, fuck, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was dumb.
Just not explained.
That was another thing that was dumb. I did think that I thought it was cool. They said that when they revealed the eye was an Infinity Stone, which I kind of figured already. But
I thought it was dumb that they revealed it at the end. I didn't think it had to be a big reveal. I think they could have talked about it throughout the movie.
I mean, I think. Oh, you think they should have like
whenever they first initially brought up the eye, I think that could have been mentioned.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think of that.
It didn't really have to be a big reveal. It felt like something they thought of last minute, and they're just like, okay, let's add this scene where they call it the Infinity Stone at the end.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think of that, but I definitely agree with it now.
It felt really weird to me whenever they did that. I'm like, oh.
I mean, there wasn't. It felt like it was just a thing. Like, hey, we need to get people to be like, oh, cool, this is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It ties in.
They could have easily done that by like whenever everything was getting fucked up, that the Avengers were scattering and maybe like trying to help people who are like in danger.
Yeah, they need to do a better job in these movies of explaining why the other people aren't showing up.
Yeah, I needed to see like at least whenever, what was the first one to fall, London or something? I don't know.
I thought it was London, but it was New York, so I don't know.
I thought it was Hong Kong, but it was London.
Very well written movie. Very well written.
New York never fell. New York never fell. That's all I know.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because
it had to have fallen
that's
because
where
the dark guy came.
No,
he couldn't come till they're all.
The only ones that didn't fall, because that's where fucking what's his name lives now. What? Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is known for living in New York at that address.
Yeah, but they said that once all three of them were destroyed, the dark guy can come through. They had to have destroyed them all because he came through. Hong Kong had to be the last one.
Okay.
Doramir or whatever. These are all names from Lord of the Rings they just put in the movie.
Dude, I kept saying after. I'm like, I'm not going to remember any of these names.
I know.
The only one I knew was Dormammu, and that was from reading comics, and that's it.
Yeah, like they had to have all been destroyed because it's the only way that Dormammu could come and destroy the Earth. So they all
I don't remember seeing New York fall.
Well, weren't they
unless
standing
9/11 counts?
Weren't they standing in the ruins?
Does 9/11 count?
No, nothing really fell. I mean, my spirits were lifted. That's not really falling, but like when they were standing in the rubble of it afterwards, they were standing inside of it. And it was like the rubble of it or whatever.
I thought that was in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong was the one at the end where like they go and it falls over and he turns back time to stop it from falling over.
Holy fuck! I'm so confused right now.
Before they go to Hong Kong, he's sitting there talking to Mordor, and they're just talking.
That's a nice remote.
It is. Put it in my butt a few times. He's talking to Mordo, and they're standing in the room, and it's nice and light outside. And there's like, we have to go to Hong Kong, and they go to Hong Kong.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. That was weird. Let's move on.
That was weird.
I don't know.
It wasn't weird. It didn't make sense.
I just didn't know where was where. I guess,
dude. I was the same way. I was like, I was positive when they went through that fucking portal, and he was by himself. They were in London. I was sure of it. They were in New York, I guess. You sure they didn't go from London to New York in some way?
Oh, okay. Okay, I might be wrong. Then maybe it was London?
Well, because it showed Beaker Street. That was London. He goes
Beaker
outside.
Street, London?
That's in London, yeah.
Okay, that might be London then. For some reason,
it wasn't.
For some reason, no. Because for some reason, maybe I assumed that because it was his cape was there, that was the one that would be his home, which would be New York. So maybe I assumed the whole time that was New York.
You're an asshole. You made me think I was wrong this whole time when they were in London.
Look up... Where's Bleecker Street? Look up Bleecker Street.
It's gotta be London.
Bleecker Street.
I thought it was some sort of Sherlock Holmes reference, too.
Now I'm going to talk about...
Bleecker Street, New York City.
Oh, cool. Okay, so it was New York.
I hate this movie.
It doesn't make any sense.
So much. I don't really hate it that much.
No, I liked it. I mean, I still like the movie. I still enjoyed it. Whenever the movie was over, I was still like, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I was too.
What
I basically
next?
told people, I was like, I liked the movie, but I had a lot of problems with it. That's what I would tell people.
Yeah. I'd watch it again. Definitely.
The ending just didn't seem really fulfilling for me for some reason.
Dude, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this makes sense, and I guess like as far as like if like you could control time, this is how you would defeat him. But something like
just after that,
it didn't feel like there was a big finale. It didn't.
Yeah.
It just felt like, okay, cool, you beat him.
I mean, but then again, it also like left me wanting more. So maybe it wasn't that bad of a thing. So I was like, I want more.
Yeah,
but it was just weird. I was like, that it's over.
I feel like I didn't get enough with the villains though. Like I didn't really understand what their motive for anything was.
Their motive operandi,
just to take over the world, I guess.
Operandi
to have eternal life.
It
sounded very. It felt very generic bad guy.
Their motive that made no sense to me was they wanted the Dark Lord or Dormammu to come over and like destroy everything,
to kill everyone, so everyone could live forever.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
That didn't. Dave, this is so stupid.
I don't understand why Mordor was so pissed off that the Ancient One was using the dark powers when clearly she's using it for good. So
I know. I was like, I don't get what maybe there's like a history with the dark power that like we don't understand that makes it so bad. But that would have been that would be like too poorly unexplained.
I was like, I don't understand what the big deal is here, but whatever. Okay. I loved the mid-credit scene at first until I thought about it, then I got mad.
With Thor?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was funny, but I was also like, okay, so they called him in, and he's like, okay, you need me in Thor uniform? And they're just like, no, just sit in the chair, we'll do this now.
This is why I got mad. Okay?
I'm ready for your reasonings of why you're...
I'm sitting there
why
watching
you're
this.
Mad.
And he's like, why'd you bring your brother Loki to New York? He's like, we're trying to find my father. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, whoa. I was like, when I watched Thor: Dark World, it ended with Loki pretending to be his dad.
His dad. So I'm not sure why.
And I'm like, cool, man. He's gonna cause a bunch of mischief. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff that happens.
Unless this takes place after the beginning of Thor: Dark World,
in which case you already know what's gonna happen, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, so...
It's the only way for it to make sense.
So I'm sitting there like, oh, he's going to cause all this trouble, all kinds of cool stuff's going to happen, but apparently, off-screen, Thor was just like, okay, stop it, and that's it. He just found out that he was his dad, and they just go looking for his dad. I'm like, that's kind of lame. I would have liked to have seen what happened. I would have, like... I thought it was a cool, like, hook at the end of Dark World to be like, oh, man, Loki's going to do some cool stuff now. He's going to cause some problems, but apparently... I guess they didn't, and we just don't... I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of... It destroyed the whole ending of Thor: Dark World.
Yeah, in my opinion it did.
I can see that.
I thought of it too, though, but I guess unless, like you said, like, at the beginning of the next Thor, like, they're going to spend some time but before he finds out, but I really don't think they're going to. There's so much to do in the next Thor movie with the fucking Hulk storyline.
What's the next movie?
The Ragnarok with the Hulk, the... Planet Hulk storyline.
No, the next movie, Guardians.
Guardians, right? Yeah.
So, I can't imagine we'd see anything like that in Guardians. Like, anything about, like, Loki destroying stuff.
No.
Unless, like, somehow Loki ends up being a main antagonist in either Spider-Man or Guardians. I can't really see anything, you know what I mean?
Oh, Spider-Man comes out before Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, those are the two that come out before, right?
Yes.
Is that it?
I think Thor Ragnarok and then Avengers, because they have.
Well, Thor's like November.
No, I think we see. I think the order is Guardians, Spider-Man, then Thor. Guardians, Spider-Man, Thor, Avengers.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
But I think you're right.
I mean, I'm probably wrong.
I think you're right.
Okay.
No, I do think you're right. Marvel movies.
I feel like we should have one more movie in there. One more movie in there before the end of this phase.
It's a lot of phase to be owned down.
All right.
Black Panther is also before.
Cool. Okay, that's what I need.
I didn't realize there were 4 of them before Infinity War.
I'm ready.
So I mean,
are there 3 next year then? They've been doing 2 a year. Does that mean 3 next year?
No. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because Black Panther.
Because technically, Spider-Man's a different property, right?
Yeah, that's why it doesn't really count.
Okay.
Yeah, because Black Panther
is beginning of 2018, and then
Avengers is the middle. I think it's
late
summer.
2018.
I think it's summer. That movie's gonna make so much fucking money.
The second one. They're doing 2 parts, right?
Yeah.
But technically they're named differently.
The next year, 19.
Okay. Is it early next year? Are these going to be close together?
You mean Black Panther and the other one?
No. Avengers and Avengers next one. Next Generation.
The Star Trek Next Generation?
Yeah.
Okay. Untitled Avengers sequel.
That would be it.
Yeah, I have to find... Okay, here we go. Upcoming Marvel movies and release date. So, I mean, it's July. Thor is November.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Thor is November. Black Panther is February.
Uh-huh.
The first
Black History Month.
Yeah.
Racist.
Oh, that's dumb. Avengers is May. The other one's probably again in May, I would assume. I think it's just a year later. Ant-Man and the Wasp is July. Captain Marvel is March. And Avengers
Wait, is that all 2018?
No.
That's 2019. That's 2018, though?
Yeah.
Shit.
So there's 3 Marvel ones in 2018.
I cannot wait for Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's going to be so shitty.
It's not going to be that bad.
Dude, I hated Ant-Man. I thought it was so fucking dumb.
No, I liked it.
That fucking guy who's like, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. That's so stupid. It wasn't funny.
I mean, I think Ant-Man's main problem is that it suffered from trying to be too funny.
Trying to be too funny?
Not like Iron Man 3 did, which was way worse at that, but... I think in my opinion, Ant-Man's main problem was there were too many parts where, like, Paul Rudd should have shut his fucking mouth and not made a joke.
Dude, I made a joke. Well, I guess it's not really a joke. I made a factual observation of the Iron Man movies. And the first 2 Iron Man movies start with, like, they're all, like, soundtracked by, like, AC/DC and, like, Black Sabbath and stuff.
You already told me this, but go on. No one else heard.
And then the third movie starts out with the Blue Song by Eiffel 95. What's Eiffel 95? Is that their name?
Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel, whatever.
Eiffel, I know. I know ISIL and Eiffel Tower.
ISIL, name dropping. Eiffel, I forget what I was talking about. Eiffel 95. I don't know what the fuck their name is, but the I'm Blue Dabu Dee Dabu Da song. I was like, this is a horrible tone to set for an Iron Man movie.
They should have been jamming to AC/DC at their fucking hoity-toity
It should have been all AC/DC and then fucking...
They're not going to listen to AC/DC at their hoity-toity party.
Their hoity-toity
party. Their hoity-toity rich guy party.
Iron Man 3 sucked. The Mandarin sucked.
That made me so mad.
The Mandarin was the worst part about it. I could have got over the humor. It's just the Mandarin. Like...
There's a combination of things.
The villain is just very important to me in movies, and if there's not a good villain, I get really mad.
That pissed me off. Bored. The humor pissed me off. The fact that all of his suits were just like completely worthless crap that got destroyed every 3 seconds pissed me off.
I thought the whole ending of that movie was supposed to be him not like using his suits anymore, and then he like just used his suits and like,
he's like just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know that movie. Oh my god,
the movie was terrible. Thank you, Shane Black. You're the best.
It's not his fault.
I mean,
it's not his fault. He shouldn't have been directing that movie. He had no business being.
I mean, it's not. It's less his fault than it is the writer's fault. I'll tell you that.
I guess I don't think he should have been involved with that movie. I think that's Marvel's fault for picking him.
I mean, he did Nice Guys. He was fine with that.
That's what I'm saying. Nice Guys was good. I don't think he had business doing an Iron Man movie.
Well, what if the script would have been good?
I guess that would make it different then. We'll never fucking know though, will we?
No, we're stuck with what we got, which is quite unfortunate. The end credit scene I liked, the one that you thought was going to be behind the scenes footage. I wasn't expecting Mordor to be a bad guy.
Yeah, I heard some things about him being bad guys in the past of Doctor Strange, so I was like, oh, is he eventually going to be a bad guy? And that's what the post-credit scene was, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yep. So I didn't know anything about that, so I was surprised.
But although I didn't think they were going to do it, so I was still shocked by it at the end. It was cool.
This is... Okay, the credit scenes, the 2 credit scenes in this movie is... exactly how Marvel should do their credit scenes for every fucking Marvel movie. They're fucking perfect. You have your first one, which is a credit scene that furthers the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you have a second one that furthers just that series.
I agree with you.
They should do that every time.
I agree with you, but I think they should be swapped in
that's
one
fine.
place.
I'm completely fine with that. Yeah, I agree with that, because the Cinematic Universe one is more epic, I would think. So
you say you have to wait longer.
Dude, it's fucking perfect the way they do that. Like, They should do that with every Marvel movie. Like, it would be great. Because I was very happy with both this, like, how they did the scenes. Even, like, the Thor one, which I didn't like as much, but I liked that they did it. It's like, cool, this furthers the universe. I like that a lot. They should definitely always do that. I think that's it. Oh, we gotta rate this movie. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah. I liked it.
That's what I gave it.
No, you didn't. What'd you really give it?
I swear to God, you can ask the people I talked to last night. I said 6.5
I thought you didn't do halves because you always make fun of me for doing halves.
I don't know. I said, dude, I can't say 6 because I feel like that's too low, but I feel like 7's too high.
That's why I do halves.
Yeah.
Welcome to my side, fucker. That vacuum again. The same vacuum we've heard before.
It's too great.
Well, that's funny.
This is too great.
No one will know why. Alright, that's it for this special Doctor Strange review. Coming to you from my apartment.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's it. Follow us on Twitter, BreakroomBS1, and then go to SoundCloud and download all our other episodes. Or stream them, or whatever.
Stream us, motherfuckers.
Share us, too.
Suck our cocks.
You should share us, too.
Yeah.
Alright. Bye, everyone.
Bye.